Harry and Meghan, the dreariest couple in the history of planet Earth.
Let's chat about Meghan Markle. She couldn't be more cringe if she tried.
Now, a staggering 2/3 of Brits are calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their HRH titles.
Prince William plans to flex his muscles and wipe his wayward brother Prince Harry and his power-hungry wife Meghan from the history books.
Prince William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
Well, Her Royal Highness Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, is about to be stripped of her official title.
It's hardly a secret that the palace has already conducted secret meetings with members of the government to discuss putting the plan into action.
Are you joking? It's bad.
It's terrible.
I would love reconciliation with my family. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
She's slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title, HRH, despite our late Queen warning her against.
Are you joking?
It's bad.
It's terrible. It's stupid.
Prince William, he's reportedly furious after it emerged that Meghan Markle is still using her HRH title despite agreeing to drop the title when the Sussexes left royal duties.
Meghan Markle has been very brazen recently with the use of the HRH.
The American actress who became a duchess, who tried to destroy the royal family, which then booted them out of England.
With King Charles on his way out, Prince William is expected to take over the crown. And apparently at the top of his list is to say, "Peace out, Meghan, you're done." And he plans to formally strip Meghan Markle of her royal title.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honour to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace.
This is a lady who's very popular for being awful.
But I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
Like, guys, you don't gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
You just can't keep faking it.
We immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah. But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your feet. People would run your bathwater for you. I mean, I could list the perks. I could list them forever. The trenches, she has got to, the Delulu is on another level. Sometimes I envy it.
I've never seen this sort of, I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity.
It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Harry and Meghan, they have an issue when it comes to their memory and when it comes to the truth.
Take me out back and shoot me, okay? Just end my agony now.
She is relentless, she is shameless, and she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars. What are you talking about? What stakes?
It's not every day we watch a centuries-old institution struggle to keep its balance in the spotlight. Yet Prince Harry has turned the world's gaze onto the crown with a force nobody saw coming. His break from royal life isn't just a family feud. It's become a cultural flashpoint that raises a bigger question. What does it even mean to be royal in the modern era? And now, with the House of Lords stepping in, that question suddenly feels a lot more urgent.
Now, when Meghan Markle and Prince Harry decided to leave the royal family, they agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they would not use their official title, His Royal Highness or Her Royal Highness, in any commercial capacity. And despite that, Meghan has now readopted Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. But not only that, she's also started to use Her Royal Highness, Duchess of Sussex.
For years, Prince Harry was seen as the more accessible royal, the mischievous yet endearing prince who endeared himself to the public by showing glimpses of a real personality behind the pomp. But insiders claim the tension started quietly when he began pushing back against the strict protocols that governed every aspect of his existence. Although the tabloids portrayed him as a lovable rule breaker, sometimes highlighting his antics as comedic relief for the stiff upper-lipped monarchy, cracks were already forming beneath the surface.
Now, the king can end this feud, but not by shaking hands with this treacherous little weasel, but by stripping him and his wife of the royal titles that they love to use for commercial gain without doing any of the work.
When Harry fell in love with Meghan, optimism soared among those who wanted a modern, inclusive royal family. At first, many believed this was a chance for the monarchy to evolve. But soon enough, the relentless press coverage, some of it openly negative and tinged with biases, stoked embers of frustration. Harry watched his wife become a target, and each headline seemed to confirm his worst fears, that the British press, just as he suspected, could be brutal to outsiders. The public glimpsed the frustration, yet only a handful suspected how deep it ran. Underneath the glossy photos and smiling waves, a storm was brewing.
But of course, the real measure of success of both of them will be the same as it always has been. How much damage can they inflict on our royal family, on our monarchy? I said it before, I'll say it again tonight. King Charles should strip them of all their remaining titles and cast them out from any connection to the royal family. How could any of them trust them, as far as I could throw them? Because without it, they're just whining millennial windbags with a permanent victim complex, knowing that victimhood is what makes them all the money.
Suddenly, the niceties gave way to a full-blown media explosion. Harry and Meghan sat down with Oprah, and in that moment, a flood of accusations poured out. Issues of racism within the royal institution, admissions of mental anguish that Meghan allegedly faced with minimal support, and the weight of tabloid attacks they claimed the palace allowed to carry on unchecked. If that wasn't enough, the Netflix docu-series ramped up the revelations, presenting the couple's perspective in a concise narrative that was impossible for the world to ignore.
Being that Meghan and Harry are not official members of the royal family anymore because they stepped down, they're not allowed to use their HRH title.
Meghan has said through a representative today that she is not using the HRH title. We have literal, tangible proof.
Now, Meghan, just last week, she did her first long-form sit-down podcast interview. She showed a basket that she had sent to the host of the podcast as a thank you for allowing her to come on. And here you can kind of zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah, she's gaslighting, she's lying, absolutely. And this is just another one of those examples of Harry and Meghan disrespecting the Queen. I know she is no longer here, but that does not mean that the rules don't apply to you any longer.
Where the monarchy thrived on silence and a never complain, never explain approach, Harry and Meghan flipped that formula on its head. Here they were, shining a giant spotlight on centuries of tradition and calling out the system itself for what they believed were serious failings. The monarchy had weathered plenty of storms before, but few had come from within its own walls with this level of impact. Each claim felt like a direct blow against the carefully managed image of royal stability. Suddenly, the idea that Harry and Meghan just wanted privacy seemed contradictory, given that they were opening up their entire narrative to the media. From mental health neglect to allegations of toxic dynamics, the series painted a picture that left traditionalists outraged and critics of the monarchy nodding in agreement. And in the midst of this media meltdown, the royals' historic silence only grew more perplexing to onlookers. Sure, statements emerged dismissing some accusations, but nobody in the palace was stepping forward to debate Harry line by line. For many in Britain, that only added fuel to the speculation. Could there be more truth to his words than the monarchy dared acknowledge? But now, the narrative escalates yet again. A petition in the House of Lords, aims to do what many saw as unthinkable: strip Harry of every ounce of royal rank he still holds. For centuries, British titles have been handed down as both a birthright and a symbol of duty. They represent continuity in a system that, despite the occasional scandal, has stubbornly endured the seismic shifts of modern times. So, when you have a prince who leaves the country, condemns the institution publicly, and signs lucrative media deals capitalizing on royal mystique, a lot of people see that as a tipping point. The argument from those backing the petition is straightforward. If you walk away from the role, you walk away from the rank. You can't have it both ways. While some Brits see the monarchy as archaic and question why these titles matter, others see them as threads in the tapestry of national identity. Removing them from Harry would be more than a procedural footnote. It'd be a definitive move against a royal who refused to toe the line. Even if the vote doesn't pass easily, the fact that it's garnering attention shows just how radically the conversation around Harry has changed. Then there's the matter of trust. By revealing private conflicts in best-selling books and high-profile interviews, Harry has placed a magnifying glass on the monarchy that many claim it never wanted. Supporters call that transparency. Opponents call it disloyalty. And the House of Lords, in considering this petition, is essentially declaring that such disloyalty, however one spins it, can't be allowed to wear a crown, literally or figuratively. Within Britain, reactions are split right down the middle. Some say Harry has every right to speak his truth after a lifetime in the spotlight where protocol demanded silence. They feel the monarchy is overdue for real talk about its role in modern society, and that the institution cannot keep sweeping its skeletons under the rug. From that point of view, the House of Lords petition is a petty overreach, punishing a man who dared to break tradition. On the other hand, critics argue that Harry is monetizing his grievances at the expense of his own family. They see the Netflix docu-series, the memoir, and the numerous interviews as part of a carefully curated strategy to remain financially independent, but ironically, still reliant on the very royal story he's criticized. The monarchy is not just a family business, they say it's part of the national heritage. And once you start airing out the monarchy's private matters on the global stage, you're attacking more than just your relatives. You're attacking a system that many still cherish. Meanwhile, observers in other European nations look on with curiosity and perhaps a bit of déjà vu. Sweden's royal family trimmed its membership to streamline public duties. Denmark followed suit, and Spain has faced repeated controversies, forcing them to reassess how titles are distributed. Even the cost of maintaining royals has become a subject of scrutiny. So Britain's predicament, though amplified by tabloid culture, isn't unique in an evolving Europe. If Harry loses his titles, it may signal that the UK is finally aligning with a broader trend, cutting extraneous parts of the monarchy to preserve its future viability. At the heart of this entire saga lies a question: did Harry and Meghan leave for genuine freedom and well-being, or did they see a profitable opening to shape their own narrative for maximum gain? That question haunts every interview, every social media statement, and every new book deal. Some feel Harry genuinely tried to find a happy medium, remaining a half-royal, half-independent figure, only to be forced out entirely. Others remain convinced that he never intended to stick around and was merely waiting for the right moment to flip his royal story into a golden opportunity. Those who defend Harry say that his mental well-being and his family's safety come first, and if he used high-profile interviews to highlight what they went through, that's his prerogative. After all, in a monarchy built on centuries of silence, speaking up about issues like mental health could be seen as a much-needed dose of progress. But critics see it differently, pointing out that each media appearance escalates tensions with the palace and seems perfectly timed for maximum public attention and lucrative contracts. Even if both perspectives hold fragments of truth, the debate endures over whether it's moral or manipulative to profit from an institution you claim. has hurt you. What happens if the petition succeeds and Prince Harry is effectively stripped of every title? Could the monarchy really sever official ties with King Charles's own son? Skeptics believe this is all theatrics, a move to appease outraged royalists, but unlikely to pass the final gauntlet of royal protocol. Yet the very fact that such a petition can gain momentum sends a resounding message. The old ways of handling royal spats behind closed doors might be fading, replaced by open conflict and institutional corrections. There's also the matter of Meghan. While the House of Lords petition doesn't name her, she's so enmeshed in Harry's story that any blow to him resonates with her too. Together, they've endured fierce backlash from certain quarters of the media and the public. Some claim she was the catalyst for Harry's rebellious streak, while others believe she simply opened his eyes to his own dissatisfaction with the monarchy. Regardless of who lit the spark, if Harry is stripped of his dukedom, the ripples could reach every corner of their California empire, forcing them to reconsider how they brand themselves to the world. Beneath all this drama is a deeper existential challenge for Britain's royal family. In an era where transparency is valued, where influencers and public figures thrive on personal disclosure, can the monarchy remain relevant if it keeps the same stiff-lipped approach? The Queen's passing marked the end of a certain era of respect and reverence. King Charles now faces the daunting task of guiding the monarchy through a more skeptical climate. If the monarchy refuses to adapt, it risks alienating a new generation that expects authenticity. But adapting in the palace's eyes doesn't mean letting every member air their dirty laundry for the world. It means refining who gets to represent the institution, ensuring that those who do carry titles are aligned with tradition, duty, and discretion. Thus, the idea of stripping Harry's titles fits neatly into the monarchy's broader effort to redefine its boundaries. If Harry won't respect those boundaries, the monarchy seems prepared to tighten them further. We're witnessing something bigger than just another royal scandal. This is history unfolding in real time. Whether Harry's critics view him as a turncoat or his supporters see him as a truth-teller, the repercussions of his actions are resonating far beyond one family's walls. If the House of Lords petition succeeds, it will prove that even being a beloved son of a king can't shield you from the consequences of publicly challenging the system. If it fails, it might suggest that tradition still bends a little when it comes to royal blood. Either way, the monarchy is inching closer to a crossroads. Continue trying to contain the fallout from rebellious royals, or adopt new methods that incorporate moderated transparency. As for Harry, being stripped of titles won't erase his past, nor will it silence him, but it will force a redefinition of what he stands for. No longer a duke, but still a global figure under constant scrutiny. Will that liberation heighten his voice or weaken his standing? That's the final riddle in this ever-evolving saga. Even if the monarchy has withstood centuries of upheaval, modern challenges demand modern solutions. And watching Prince Harry's conflict with the crown might just be the catalyst that forces the world's most storied institution to look itself in the mirror and ask, how much can we change before we lose ourselves? On that note, we reach the end of this chapter, but not the end of the story. The monarchy isn't done evolving, and with or without his titles, neither is Harry. Each new headline, each rumored confrontation keeps everyone asking what comes next, because something tells us this drama hasn't reached its final act.